Hello and welcome to what should be pretty close to the conclusion of the Guild Wars arc, or at least the start of the conclusion. So this should be fairly interesting. We've finished all of Guild War, so now with the conclusion, similar I'm guessing to the Morningstar conclusion is how they'll wrap it up, where you kind of go through each character in kind of succession and round things out while filling out the story. I'm actually really looking forward to this, as it was one of the more interesting stories to begin with for Asunia, and it's quite interesting to see this new map design. So I don't know if there's a way to actually look at that more. I guess like this, yeah. So definitely you can see a lot of destruction going around. No big surprise. We're actually one of the few like safe zones of Asunia, judging by how this city is laid out, which is super interesting. I never actually looked in depth into Asunia, but seeing how it's all walled off into sections, very interesting. I'm guessing it's maybe canal setups designed for that specifically, but very interesting. Anyway, the first part is going to be Flames of Conflict. Asunia is thrown into a state of war as treason between the Blade Rights and Countess Solari reach a breaking point. Miesha leaves Cetus in an attempt to quell the conflict. The outbreak of war interferes with Orisa and Erika's altercation as Eris asks the both of them for help. So I want to enable voice because that's not as much fun without it, of course. We've covered quite a bit of these so far, so it should be interesting. I'm hoping my theory pans out. I have stayed away from as many spoilers as I could to do this for you guys. So, Countess Solari, not a bad place to start. As I always suspect, I do think Nerva obviously has a big hand in these guys for the Blade Rights. It's no surprise, because Countess Solari has no effect. Oh wow, there are even these guys. Miesha.
Are you all right? Oh, ouch!
You sure you aren't hurt yourself?
I'm fine. Now, please, run away. Countess Solari is
I don't believe it's Countess Solari's problem.
staging a rebellion.
Cetus.
Battles are erupting all over. But who could be the one giving orders to these squads? I can't get my head around it.
Most likely, it's the Marshal. Cetus, please take care of everyone.
What about you?
I'll stop this conflict.
She was always an odd character, Miesha. Cute, but odd.
What's that? You two, please, I beg of you, please stop fighting. Eris?
I have no time for your frivolities.
Here in this land, something is going to pass. If we do not join hands with each other now,
I have no time for your frivolities. I believe I said that much.
please stop already, Erika.
Were you unable to hear them? Those detonations? It's beginning. Like it or not, it's begun. A conflict to consume all of Asunia. There's not a second more to waste. I'm going to do what I have to.
What do you have to do? Do you mean you have to save the scary people and beat the nice people?
Whether I do or not, the die is cast. No amount of fussing will change that.
Erika!
Orisa, priestess, I recommend you prepare yourself if we ever meet again.
If only Orisa wasn't such an airhead.
Partners! Orisa! I hate this, Eris. So I'm going to go see everyone in the Order of Blade Rights again. I'm sure that they don't want to fight. I mean, they're all really nice people. They have to know that there's another way. If your wishes succeed, then those who are divided may become one again. I lend you my cooperation. Thank you. So, we're going this way. I'll stop this. If people are going to get hurt, if people as nice as them are going to die, then I'll stop this fight.
Oh, that's going to be a great character arc for her to fall on her face. So, of Flame. So we started with Flames of Conflict, now we go with Flame. This should be a little more interesting. The following classes can be selected in this chapter: Forest and Portal. Kind of looking forward to playing those. As Eris and Orisa move to stop the conflict, that has erupted, they encounter Cetus. However, the sound of an explosion is suddenly heard coming from the Eskamali Temple. Concerned, Eris leaves the two and heads towards the temple. I might have to go into my rotation decks to try and find one that I can use. This should do. I don't have any forest decks set up, so I'm kind of glad that Portal was another option.
It is. happening, isn't there? One between the Order of Blade Rights and Counter Solari. I don't really get what's going on, but I hate it when people get hurt or killed. So we have to stop them.
I'm right there with you. But I can't take this all in.
Which is to say...
According to Maisha, the Under-Marshal of the Blade Rights, the orders for this strategy came from the Guild Marshal himself. But I haven't heard a thing from him. Not that Counter Solari was planning anything, and not that we'd be launching a counterattack. It's odd.
Understatement.
I have to ask the Marshal about this in person. That's why I ran here. You?
I wanted to hear what someone from the Blade Rights would say. So Cetus, let's...
Oh, here we go.
There's a plume of smoke. It's coming from the direction of Escamali.
Marlone!
Someone you care about is over that way, right? Then go there, Eris.
But...
It's okay. You can trust me. I trust you too, Eris.
Thank you. No matter what, I shall return.
Let's get going then.
Okay.
If this is how things are...
Counter Solari!
Get out of here. I don't want to fight you. And she...
What are you saying? You're the ones who look down upon us, our life and our pride.
Ewan!
You could convince him. It wouldn't change things, though.
But...
Fighting's necessary to control this situation. The flames of war are growing stronger. I won't let the Keepers run amok. I'll save the world with my two hands.
This might actually be the first world that Ewan could actually save. I mean, his original world was wiped out by Nerva, I believe, and then the world, of course, that we had our Keeper in, Nexus or Serenity, was pretty much screwed. I mean, everyone was put into an infinite dream, so that they'll never probably wake up from. So it does mean that our world was pretty much screwed, I think. And they've changed. I like this. They've changed up the map here. This was always normally like bright blue, but now it's more of a, of course, grey color, and everything's kind of destroyed. I actually like they've put in a lot of effort into these boards, especially with this new story mode. I'm actually super looking forward to seeing more of these new boards in our actual rotation for, of course, backgrounds in multiplayer. What do I want? Mecha Wing? We'll try that. It's going to be pretty random, but I think it's worth a shot. So I'm playing a pretty much straight up artifact deck. There's not really anything too crazy in it. It should be pretty generic as far as that goes, which should do a pretty decent job against this. The only real trouble I think I'm going to run into now is drawing a card that I can use for turn 4 and 5 so that Desex can actually be usable. So I have one or two options, and that is not good right now. Damn it. I'll save it till next turn because I can actually take advantage of it at turn 5. That's probably my best bet. At least now we have a shot. And of course we get Hikarabe. I really want that though. Over the synthetic being right now.
Not set to its counter.
Mainly because I can use this. So it's full advantage.
Coming at you.
Now I'm just trying to think on how I can do this the best possible way. Since we're going to be in Resonance, Desex seems like a good option, but we will lose these Acceleratiums, which I actually want to keep, preferably. So I'm debating on whether Des is probably a next turn play instead. And this turn I just favour whatever I can kind of get. Well, that'll do. I was looking for a way to kill this 5/4 and get some cards, and it looks like this will do the job. Took a chance, and it looks like it's probably going to pay off. Definitely a beneficial line of play. Great, another one. Give +2. Is it just a 1? I think it's 1 blood follower. If that's all blood followers and they played 3 of those, I am in some serious trouble. Alright, now things get a little more interesting. Alright, I need Resonance active, so we'll go for that now, since we got the chance. Not the best way to do it, but I think it was good enough. This is not a bad hand. especially to deal with this. It's actually going to be fairly easy, I think. Put this down. We'll go for mechanization, and I'll aim for some higher end artifacts since we have pumped our deck with some of the lower ones already. So we're just 1 damage off. Throne of Solitude. Not a bad way to do things, but it's not going to be enough to save them, so good for us. Because we don't even actually, we don't even need to worry about what's in hand, we can just strike them. All done. Whew, the second stage of course, the conclusion, with the first stage just being purely story. I do like it when I can clean these up in one go, it definitely saves us a lot of effort and time.
That's the end.
Please stop already. We don't want to fight at all.
Ridiculous. You're the ones who denigrated our forebears and stole our future.
What's that supposed to mean?
New glory for the troop.
I think he died. Oh no, she stopped him.
No, no. You can't just take life or throw it away like that. You can't. Everyone in the Order of Blade Rights is good. I know they are. The people in Counter Solari are scary, but...
But they don't deserve death? Yeah. That was a pretty obvious outcome.
Right, Cetus.
We'll get a full explanation straight from the Guild Marshal. This situation doesn't feel quite right to me.
I feel like Maisha's probably killed the Guildmaster. At first I was thinking maybe the Guild Marshal was the Nexus, but it would make a lot more sense for Maisha to be under full control at that point.
Of the Order of Blade Rights be to blame?
I don't know, but it's worth asking.
Is that so? Then I'll be following along. This should end quick, if he's a vessel of Nerva, that is.
Vessel? You mean...
Nerva, the Keeper of Purgation. She has a vessel somewhere in this land.
That would mean he's bad, right? But...
So you're saying that the Marshal is evil?
I don't know, but a little suspicion can't hurt.
Nothing else to say, Arisa.
No. We have to hurry. Let's go, Ewan and Cetus. The Marshal's one of Nerva's vessels. And a bad person? That can't be right. The Order of Blade Rights is the Guild of Justice, after all. No, I'm sure he's not. This should sort itself out if we just give him the chance to explain.
She's way too kind-hearted for shit like that. Like, you're in the middle of a war, and that's the last thing you should be worrying about. Speaking of war, Chapter 3, War. Eris arrives at the Eskamali Temple and finds Malone unharmed there. He explains how tension between Count Solari and the Blade Rights came to reach a breaking point. Alright, so now we just need a decent deck to run for this, and I've got a few ideas. Just not really sure what much. We might try this Blood one. If that doesn't work out, I will go for a little longer game with a Haven deck. I think that'll be the best way to handle this.
How much abuse must we take from you?
How are you able to take life so casually? Conflicts happen of their own accord. Unstoppable disasters. That much I know. Poverty, inequality, and sorrow begets sorrow, which leads to disaster. But still, one must not become too comfortable with pain. One must resist it and stand against sorrow, or the world will never be liberated. Please stand back. May you be well. Marlone!
Here we go, Malone taking out Count Solari.
How many times now have you seen me looking so pitiful?
Marlone, are you hurt?
Not at all. You, Eris?
I am fine. Marlone, would you please tell me what is happening in this land now?
It's the Guild of Stealth and the Guild of Justice. Counter Solari and the Order of Blade Rights. Their long, tangled relationship is what's fanning the flames of war.
Their relationship?
To the best of my knowledge, Counter Solari was once part of the Order of Blade Rights. But they were mistreated and victimized, and then they were buried in the dark depths of history. They're attempting to get their revenge. What had to happen has happened. We may serve in the name of balance, but we are in the end unable to go against this chain of events. Well enough then. I've set my followers into motion.
That's why you were all alone, isn't it? Are all of your followers unharmed?
Most likely. But nonetheless, it is peculiar.
Those were the knights from the Order of Blade Rights. But then, why are they here? If they are pursuing Counter Solari...
Huh. It seems that you have noticed.
Urias Formond.
Not bad. This conflict in the air, it is not bad. Only the rabble, however, are engaged in battle yet. There is too little pleasure to be gained from them. Come now. You must know of the 5th Great Warrior.
I beg your pardon?
You foretold this conflict. You have it all within the palm of your hand. Is this not so? Ah, well enough. First, I shall dispose of you.
I still want to see an anime that just follows Urias through his whole life, and ripping the heads off his opponents would be absolutely glorious.
Perhaps you are the one who should be standing back.
No, I shall battle. I have decided to advance.
Yay! Urias, whatever. Kill the guys, all of them. Just wipe them out. I don't care at that point. Just do it. Okay. Now things will be a little more interesting. I really did need an early drop, which is why I obviously sacrificed that card. I had a couple OK cards here, and it was really the best move I could think of. I'm really hoping they don't have a decent turn 1. That would be super awkward. So glad they didn't have that. Now I just need to aim for preferably a 0 drop, and that is perfect. Turn 3 is looking exceptional.
I'm a trader, not a fighter.
Interesting. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's even better, honestly, than wasting my 0 drop. Because I can take full advantage of that next turn. This is looking like an amazing setup for this match.
Aren't you adorable?
Are we not single and/or able to mingle?
Okay, so if I do this right here, this should actually be very easy to counter and go for some decent damage.
That was just what I needed.
Perfect. This is going to be a very, very quick game. Couldn't have asked for a much better hand. I mean, we are only almost, 10 minutes into this video, and we've completed a good chunk of this so far, so this might actually be quicker than some of the individual stories I've had to do. And I like these rupee rewards too.
That about the 5th warrior? I have no idea about them. I don't know why there would be 5 warriors to begin with.
I shall allow you to hide your fangs, but this indirectness, it is not much to my liking.
What are you?
Stand back.
No.
Answer. If you refuse, then I do not mind battling with you here.
Ah, this is, terrifying. Alright then, enough of playing dumb. I do have some idea there. I should say, though, that it's clear to anyone who thinks sufficiently. There are 5 guilds in this land. Those 5 mighty warriors are then...
The guild leaders. I have heard that the last one is recovering.
That is what the members of the Order of Blade Rights say. But in fact, no one knows for sure.
Huh. I see. It may indeed be the fastest to confirm with my own eyes.
Battle, surpass, or kill? What exactly will you do with these mighty warriors?
I shall simply do what I must.
You have no doubts, do you? About your goals or your way of being?
I bring mighty warriors to heal, using my will and my power. That is all there is.
Mighty warriors? seems like a horribly simplistic way of viewing things. I don't believe that there are such things as strong people and weak people.
You simply allow the matter to remain clouded. My will and my power are free of uncertainty.
Is that so?
And what is your goal? You smile endlessly and act as if you know all. You may end up as my final quarry.
This presents quite a conundrum. Could his vampiric instincts be to blame?
Marlone, your wounds are...
I'm fine, Eris. He fled, but
They didn't.
it seems the winds of war have yet to pass.
Let us abide, Marlone. Together we...
Yes,
I actually really love his visual effects compared to Eris's. So much nicer. War never changes. Someone had to make that joke and I'm glad it was me right now. Inferno. Alright. Despite Isabel's concern over the conflict erupting outside, Eleanor remains focused on her research, worrying about the state of the town. Isabel heads out on her own. Alright, sword and rune. Let's see. Rotation rune, and we'll take... What's in this deck? Well, we'll take this one. This should be fine.
It's awfully hot outside.
It does seem that way.
Doesn't it bother you?
My powers of concentration can obscure any noise or sight. There won't be any effect on my research.
Someone's fighting Counter Solari. Isn't that right?
That doesn't involve me, and I can't say I'm interested. Isabel, this is a pointless conversation. You yourself should know that.
It's been a while since we've seen Eleanor Gloria.
I have no doubts, so I'm not about to dispel yours. And I'm certainly not about to respond to them. Value is what I seek. It's in pursuit of value that I probe so deeply into nature. I search, I learn, and I prove. That is who I am, and I am no one else.
I'm sorry. I've been relying on you a bit too much.
Do I seem like someone who would let you get away with that?
Not at all. I'm jealous, really. But I can't answer that. There may be no answer to begin with.
Are you still going to go?
I think so. I'm going to try and see. That will be better than being cooped up here anyway. It's been a lot of fun. I've been alone for such a long time. Being here with you, talking and thinking together. Thank you, Eleanor. You probably don't want to hear this, and it feels a bit strange to me too. But you're like a friend to me. You really are.
A friend?
Nah.
You certainly are interesting.
Something smells awful.
Hey, you! What are you doing? You'd better get out of here.
There's a battle beginning, isn't there?
Yep. Looks like the Counter Solari people have launched a rebellion. Stand around like that and you're liable to get dragged in. Counter Solari? Ah!
Stand back.
Will prove the truth.
Huh.
Oh, thanks for covering for me. Come on now, you've got to run away too.
I'm fine.
Fine. You better watch yourself.
I wonder if Kyle had to live in this scent. Burning, smoky.
Huh. So you intend to wander with no true sense of purpose? How leisurely you act.
Well, you don't seem like someone who's ever doubted himself.
To doubt and to flounder is the privilege of the weak. I shall simply do what I must.
They make an impressive pair though.
Must.
Isabel and Rowan. Not Rowan, sorry. Urias. Rowan is a pain in the ass, honestly.
What need is there to speak of that anymore?
Where are you going?
A place you are not in any state to reach. You need only to be careful. This is a battlefield, and the unworthy will perish.
First there's this war, and now he's getting involved. It's terrible.
What does she honestly expect?
It's someone else.
Oh, here we go.
Was it just
Sword.
Urias Formon that I saw? You. If he's joining in, this situation's going to get all the rougher. And that's totally fine by me. I don't intend to protect you. You're going to have to care for yourself.
That's not something I need to hear from you. You're about to see what my magic can really do.
Vengeful Mantis. What a soul-crushing monster. Alright, let's see if we can end this one as quickly as we did the blood one. I doubt we can, because Mysteria is on the slower side of the deck spectrum as far as just playability goes. That doesn't mean it's not a extremely powerful deck, because it definitely still is. But it's definitely, you know, slower than blood. You're not going to be closing out the game on turn 5 that easily. At least we got Student Teacher. I kind of like enjoy getting that card early on. It does make it a lot easier when we get to the whole and sorcery play later on. Wanted to use knowledge, but it wasn't going to be very good there. A little disappointed. My only little bonus is that hopefully we can beat this out before I can really do any damage. Which is why I didn't worry about the draw there. Countdown 5, so that's good. It's going to take a while to go off. And now we can take things just a little slower. Hopefully we get, yes, circle. That's what I wanted. You don't usually want circle, but this situation was perfect for it. Since we're going to have a really nice Wind Blast, we've got already a Fiery Embrace and a Fate's Hand, which should come in reasonably handy. That did disappoint me though. That's a little sad. Alright, what can we get? Circle? Circle, circle, circle. Not so good, to be honest. Alright, let's draw a couple cards. Nothing useful there. I probably should have went for the Evo, honestly. Dragon plus Haven. That's some insane combination of cards, honestly. Actually, was that a shadow card? Sonata of Silence. Yeah, wow. Shadow Dragon and Haven combined together. Exciting. Things should get more interesting then. Alright, at least this should buy us some time. Since they will have to deal with the 8-2. Not they don't have options, I'm sure, with the variety of cards they have. Jabberwock Nightmare Spawn. Wow. That thing's going to have a lot of power behind it now. Lucky for us, it's a very easy counter. That's really the only bonus. Perfect, an Am, so we finally got one. Not in the ideal way that I want, but it'll work. I want to come up with a way that I can use as many of these cards as possible, and honestly I can't come up with a really good way to do so yet. Though that's not bad. Alright, there we go. Extra damage. So that's actually 4 damage just there. But we're not going to get to use all these. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. We do actually just straight up win, but it's not the point. I wanted to come up with a fancy way, but I think we just have to use the Evo. Still reasonably quick though. We still beat it out before turn 10, which is nice. I will probably leave the deck lists for all these games. I may not. If I don't, I apologize, but it's just going to depend on time. As this isn't the only video I've got to make for today.
This conflict is only going to get more violent. If you value your life, you have to run away.
What's gotten into you?
I'm doing what I have to.
What, you have to? How can you decide what that is just like that? Is this really necessary? Is this really what's important? This isn't right. You never have any doubts, not even for a second.
Not in the least. I once turned my back to the past, but it's here with a new face. There's no way that I could flee a second time.
Your past.
I feel a sliver of goodwill toward you after our fight with Nexus. So let me advise you of one thing. My blade is the blade of Counter Solari. If you interfere with the Guild's business...
Counter Solari? The ones who attacked? I don't understand any of this. What's happening in this land? In this world?
To doubt and to flounder is the privilege of the weak. I shall simply do what I must.
I'm doing what I have to.
Marlon, my apologies.
Oh no, they both got shut down.
How can you take life like it's nothing? How can you hurt people just like that? I'm always doubting myself, and I never know what I have to do. The hell? Could this battle really be spreading beyond this land? This is horrible. People dying in battle is too much for me to...
I always forget that she isn't really accustomed like the other characters. Nearly all the other characters are prepared to kill except maybe Arisa. Even Luna is probably more prepared to kill than most of these. So of them I would say 5 out of the 8 are pretty much prepared to kill if they have to. Whereas of course Rune, being Isabel, Luna I'm on the fence about. She's a necromancer after all, so killing shouldn't be too hard for her. And of course Arisa, which doesn't like killing either. But she is willing to fight, whereas Isabel isn't really a fighter, per se. The Mad Giant. Rowan finds Isabel wandering alone in town. However, she brushes off his concern before sending him away. Dragon and Shadows. That means Luna is going to be in this too. Do I have... Actually, I should have a okay rotation dragon list? Maybe I don't have one here? What's this one? No, I'm not a fan of that. We'll go to my unlimited lists. I actually want this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one's Aggro Dragon. This will make this game reasonably quick, I think, if I get a half-decent match.
Again? That sound's coming from...
Oh, here we go.
over there on his hill. Why is this happening? No, not yet. Before I search for an answer, I'll battle to be with the rest of the group.
Rowan!
Isabel, you're safe.
I am.
Where are you going, Isabel?
I want to stop it. Stop anyone from dying in this conflict. I can't stand it.
Oh, in that case, we all need to...
I know, so don't say it now.
I'm sorry.
It's not just you. The problem is...
These guys.
War might have already spread beyond this land. If you say that we all need to join forces...
This conflict has to be stopped.
No. That's what you have to do, isn't it?
All right. But are you really sure that you'll be okay, Isabel? We're in a battlefield now. It's too dangerous to wander around alone. Maybe it's not my place to say this, but I'm worried. Worried about what will happen to you in the middle of all this chaos.
Go. I'll be fine.
Isabella.
There's something you have to do, so go. I'm still...
I know. Please watch out for yourself. I mentioned the group earlier, but remember that you're a part of it, Isabel. If that's okay with you, that is.
Everyone's gone their own way. There's no telling where they could be. And yet you're still talking about the group. You're so stupid, Rowan. But the stupidest one of all has to be...
Rowan's like, yay, Luna!
Oh, Nicola. I figured you'd be here. Guess it's only natural that you're fine.
It's you.
Oh, and you're here too.
Me and him were playing together.
Oh. Well, it's great to see you're okay.
This has been one giant headache. No sooner does Counter Solari appear than the Blade Rights show up.
Someone from Counter Solari said the false sun was fanning the flames of war in this land.
Again? No. Make it stop.
You can't just let them run amok.
I love Luna's little reaction. It's like, no, not again. Just gotta pound him into the dirt there, Luna. Again, another adjustment with the whole color palette of all the water and the city obviously being on fire. Really cool to see on this kind of artwork. Phoenix and Ivory Dragon. I'll actually hold those. I think that can be worked in pretty easily. Any kind of aggressive deck in story mode usually does a fairly decent job. It's very hard to get countered when you're running an aggressive deck in story mode, because they just don't have massive amounts of removal that can do a wonderful job all the time, unlike what obviously a normal player can. So getting any kind of ramp is actually pretty handy. Wandering Elf Mage. Makes me wonder whether I actually wanted to use my direct counter there. But I think we'll just go with the Poseidon setup, since ideally I would like to be able to go Phoenix Rider as soon as possible. I don't know if that'll happen yet.
I'm
Alright, this is actually not looking too bad. I was a little concerned, but overall I think I can do alright with this hand. Alright, so you should be able to negate at least a bit of damage here. Fairy Refuge isn't an issue. Lila Arborist, no. Lily, that's a little bit more of a problem, but the ping there is actually not too bad. This means they should actually be forced to double trade here. Yep, there we go. And Omen of Disdain is actually perfect at this point. It's going to be a nice little bit of setup and a bit of damage. I do want to guarantee the hit on the 2/6 though, so we will get rid of this. Take as little damage as possible before dealing our own. There you go, just 11 health left, and we've got a couple of Phoenix Riders, so we should be able to do a pretty nice couple of turns no matter what we play now. Do 1 damage to a random enemy. Damn it, it hit the exact wrong thing. If I had hit this, I could have got another ping out of it. Would have been so much better value. Very tempted to play my Phoenix, only because I know I can take advantage of it now. So that's going to be 7 damage. Pretty decent. As long as they don't play a ward, we should be okay. Phoenix Rider with their board and my Goblin play is actually going to be enough on its own. So even if they wipe this, would be fine. The only real ward would be a problem. Otherwise, it makes for a very quick game, which is great. But it looks like I'm going to leave up these 6/7, so that's actually even better now. I still want to make the play though, and since we got Ivory Dragon, I'm going to go with that one. Alright, I want the biggest dragon, Phoenix, Rider, person ever. There we go. 7/5. I mean, it's not the biggest it could be, but it's a little bit of fun.
I pulled through there.
Alright, taking him out.
I'm trying to play. You need to quiet down.
Rowan, would you look after Luna?
That's what I had in mind.
Thanks. Really. I can't shake this feeling. This feeling that something bad's about to happen.
Something bad.
No, I guess it's more like a belief. You know, don't you? That I'm a monster, that is. The chains of balance are what kept me leashed. The guilds keep each other in check, so I wasn't able to act freely. Or that's what they say. Once those chains snap to bits, you start worrying whether the monster might start going wild. It's only natural.
Here we go, Maisha.
To end up this way. Before I go wild and the damage gets any greater, you have to kill me and put an end to this. With that said, I'm a monster. And I can't lose.
Hey, are you gonna play with me?
Hey, I really can't when things are like this. We'll play once it's all over. Go along with Rowan. If you don't have anywhere special to go check out Marlone. He should be in the temple at the bottom of the hill.
Alright. You might not want to hear this, but don't die.
So, you came to stop me, didn't you?
Yes.
I sure hope you didn't come alone. You know me, I won't hold back. And I can't. I eat rocks, and I fight with all I've got. Your plots and plans to stop me are useless, got it?
Ooh, here we go. This should be interesting.
Cycle is this life. Fight as does the serpent. Reversal of providence. The bond's inner workings. Not am I now, but the miracle's reversal.
Ooh. Oh, now that is some nice art. Off-world anomaly. Mechanical giant, off-world anomaly, Nicola Adele. Yeah, he can't be from that world.
You are headaches. I hate the both of you. I'll squash you with my own 2 hands.
Now things are getting interesting. Alright, chapter 6, Hero. I'm wondering whether they're going to tie up the entire story now or whether it's going to be later. Like I said, I avoided any spoilers, so I'm not sure if this is actually the entire conclusion or not. If it is, this is one hell of a long video. I mean, we're already eclipsed 20 odd minutes, so...
Are you okay?
I should have carried you here.
No, it's really okay. Where is the marshal then?
In this room. Marshal?
There's no answer.
When did you last see him?
It's always the under-marshal who deals with the marshal. That's what Maisha says he wants.
I see.
Are you going to break the door down?
Sorry. Really, I should have been the one to...
Knights serve, and they act in moderation. I know that. Now excuse me.
Excuse me, Mr. Marshal? We're coming in! Mr. Marshal? There's something that we need to ask you. Right now, Counter Solari and... Mr. Marshal? It's...
I can sense a vessel here. No. It's something different.
You're kidding. How come?
I guessed he was Nerva's vessel, and the one plotting this war. But this thing isn't a vessel. It's not even human. It's a literal puppet being controlled by a vessel.
Then... where's the Marshal? No, I mean, who's the one behind this wall?
Ha! Are you all right?
Yes, thanks. Leod gave you the orders, huh?
Yes. To provide all the assistance I can.
How about that? That should do it, though. Worry about Leod, not us.
Understood.
Please, he's the one who took care of us. That's the truth. Him and him alone.
It's the same for me. He's...
How human you are in your growth. Your eyes have changed.
I can't be bothered with you at the moment.
You are hunting the Marshal of the Order of Blade Rights? What a coincidence.
You are too?
There is no need to speak of that. Do you not sense it? That the winds have changed? Yes, perhaps this has been a mere diversion. The curtain rises. Will this spectacle be a comedy? Or will it be a tragedy? I shall enjoy myself either way.
Something is amiss. They're unlike real people. No matter how many we defeat, more appear. More like the shades the Nexus produced.
Are you okay?
Rowan, Luna, you are well.
And you're okay too.
Why, yes, I am. It seems that Nicola has been quite thoughtful.
I'll clear the path ahead. But before anything else, we need to leave this...
Oh, I see. However... I'm afraid I simply can't have that.
Marlone, what are you?
No, I'm sorry. One might say I'm, finally able to read this situation. This is all that can be done. Release the third restraints.
I've come to stop you. You're the one responsible for all this. No, well, strictly speaking, you and Marlone are behind this all, aren't you? You and Escamoli are connected behind the scenes. Escamoli provides you with ore, and you provide Escamoli military strength. Under the banner of balance, and with your protection, Escamoli has been acting secretly. You've rejected our pleas, squeezed money from Magus, and more likely than not, you were interfering with Counter Solari as well.
Huh.
No, you were interfering. You pulled the strings in secret, you incited them, and you created this conflict.
How about that? You've really put a lot of thought into this. So this is how you want to do things, huh?
That's correct.
I knew there was someone else like me here, someone from another world, and that they were operating in secret. So it was you, Maisha LaForge.
I've been hiding more than just my intentions.
You unsheathed it. That sword.
Your power and Marlone's perspicaciousness are such thorns in my side. If I want to meet her again, I'll need to... I've already finished hunting Escamoli members. Counter Solari has almost been wiped out, and the conclusion nears. Shall we begin? Here and now, I'll become a hero.
very interesting storyline. I got to be honest, it's got fairly interesting. I let that run because I really wanted to see where that story was kind of going, so that's why I didn't do much commentary with it. But to see that, you know, Marlone and him obviously have a really deep connection, which we already knew about, but to then see, of course, Maisha be the evil character, a little bit predictable. I kind of felt that to begin with. It was going to be her or the Marshal that were going to be, you know, one and the same, but with the Marshal not showing himself, definitely assumed it was going to be Maisha. You know, Forgotten Memories, basically flat out saying she was from another world in advance. Then, of course, Nicola Adele and Marlone is what I'm quite interested in. Their ties and him controlling him with balance and releasing the third restraints, but then stopping the characters that we play as. That's going to be a much more interesting thing to unravel with the rest of the storyline as we go here. Obviously, because he kept him in check so he didn't run wild.
Why would you? It seems that I'm being hunted, most likely by conspirators. Dear, perhaps this is some sort of punishment.
Punishment?
I'm afraid you wouldn't. I've already told you the tale. My body is broken. My body can be converted into magical power. No, I should say it converts itself into magical power, whether I want it to or not.
Interesting.
So, as long as I live, my body keeps producing magic, and an incredible amount at that.
Oh, so it's probably what Nicola's for.
You're speaking in earnest.
It's entirely too much of a good thing. If I don't take care of the magic, then I'll very literally explode. The buildup will become too much to control, and then boom.
Boom.
It's for that reason that I have these marks on my hands.
Are you gonna die? How come?
I'd venture that it's because I'm in someone's way. I know this land well. I'm clever, and, well, I have plenty of magical power.
No. We are here for you, Marlone. And we will protect you.
That won't do, though. It seems that my followers have been slain, and now I'm set to explode. They keep sending soldiers to occupy me, and in the meantime, they've extinguished my followers in order to muck up the supply of magic. How very devious of them.
Then why did he release the third restraints? Had to be on Nicola, surely.
Again?
There are so many.
A war's begun, and the enemy's onslaught is only going to grow stronger and more terrible. The number of enemy soldiers will overwhelm us. The conspirator behind this conflict is likely attempting to destroy Nicola and I. That being the case, please allow me to handle this.
He is a, like, infinite well of magic, basically, for as long as he lives.
Incredible. At any rate, I shall die. Whether I explode from magic run amok, or whether I exhaust my life force and wither away.
Marlone, are you really sure about this?
Damn, poor Malone.
I am. I'm sure, and then some.
At least this makes a little more sense now.
Please continue on ahead.
Which is nice.
Moment, people you care about are being harmed. Please help them. Save them. And, if you can spare the time, go to that hill to him as well.
Thanks. You handle things here then.
Once someone dies, then that's it. You can't...
You advance too, Marlone. There is nothing more. I can no longer... I'm sorry. And thank you.
Damn.
Yes, you and I are different. You will advance. It's the end for me.
Marlone median.
That said, my end will be a horrendous thing. And you too will naturally meet your end.
Oh dear, is it over already?
You.
The power you're controlling, with one blow, it could rend the void. This certainly is a threat, but, well...
Oh wow, she is impressive.
Such a relief. You're very gentle. This sword is remarkable, isn't it? It's the pride of the Bladerites.
Idiot Marlone.
Now that we've hunted down all the adherents in Escamali, you'll either die from the explosion, or you'll die from exhausting your magic. Isn't it a tad late to start putting your heart into it now?
Damn it. I wanted it all to end. Now...
thought you might destroy me, and so you held back. Your gentleness was a true help. All the same, Marlone's light was splendid. I wonder if it reached her. I can only hope it did. Oh, now have you realized the truth?
It was you.
The other person who said that is lying there on the ground.
When did this start? When did it?
I'm afraid I'd forgotten. It was terribly long ago.
Let's conclude this.
This battle will certainly be a conclusion for you. Not, however, for me. I ask that you kindly die here, Leod.
Seeing her just slice and dice is pretty entertaining.
Quit whimpering, false one. Yours is a pale imitation of the true sword. Swing your sword and the magic it's absorbed over the years will disappear. But this one's different. This blade's magical charge won't disappear no matter how much it's used. Conceal the light, but it won't stop shining. The true blade's this one.
Well, this certainly comes as a surprise. You really should announce your intentions more clearly. Still, your patience is boundless. In order to avoid outing yourself, you haven't unsheathed that sword a single time. You waited until the hour when you felt assured of certain victory. You turned your back on your allies, turned your back on this land, and now you have the gall to appear after my sword's magic is spent.
I hope you're not about to lecture me about honor. Before you stands a solitary beast. A beast that's crawled out of the blood and the slime. I have no intention of becoming a hero. We'll fell the false sun and bring new glory to the true moon. Slay you and bring true light to this land.
Nice.
Then at that time, those who've sunk into the murkiest depths will get what's due them.
You do love to go on about the past, don't you, Leod?
Perhaps I do. But all the same, you've no future.
Come on. I really want to see that end. Come on. Those sins. Oh, hero sins and lies. This should be more interesting. Here we go. Forest, sword, blood, and a portal. We're probably going to be taking a blood because we did last time and we did a pretty exceptional job. Plus, if we lose, it's usually very quickly.
The marshal was a fake? Then that means the person who started this battle was... Cetus! Cetus, where are you going?
To stop this.
Cetus!
It seems like he's realized something. Shall we follow?
Yeah, Cetus, please, wait!
Is the Order of Blade Rights Marshal here? Leod said...
He is not. There is no trace of him here.
And where?
I do not know, but well enough.
Hold up. What brought you here? Are you searching for strong opponents?
To what does that relate? There were matters I wished to verify.
What do you mean? Does it have something to do with the marshal?
I believe in only that which I see. And conversely, I believe in all that my eyes perceive, be it gods or monsters or anything else. This time is the first. Never before did I doubt that which I saw. But those doubts have now become convictions.
What are you
Interesting.
trying to say, Urias Formond?
Maisha LaForge. It was she who devised this war.
What? That can't be true. I mean, she's...
Oh, finally.
So yours may have been as well. She is an interesting person indeed.
I see. Cetus must have realized that...
Where is this Maisha LaForge? You will answer me!
What do you intend to do with this information?
That's a given. I'm going to...
Wait, are you sure? Is it really Maisha? I don't believe it. I mean, whenever I saw Maisha, she was always so nice.
Oh, she's so nappy though. That's why I honestly, personally can't stand Arisa's character.
So you only believe that which you see. Then you have no choice but to confirm the truth for yourself. There on that hill.
Thank you very much.
Arisa, what in the world are you planning to do?
What else? I'm going to see if Maisha is a bad person or not.
And if she's evil, then what? Are you going to battle against me again? Or are you going to slay Maisha? Either way, that choice isn't yours to make. You aren't prepared. That's why I told you. You're going to have your heart broken.
Maybe. But I'm going anyway.
Orisa!
But my heart's already broken. The town's on, but I'm not going to run away. After you cry, you'll always laugh again. That's what I have to believe. That's what I have to believe. I can't come this far just to throw my world away.
You're tough.
No, Ewan. I'm weak. I'm sure that what Erica says is right. I'm not afraid of messing up, though. I want to face things.
Good job.
Your strength of will is intriguing. Show me more.
Let's keep going. Past the imitation and on toward the truth.
I'll follow.
Finally.
Please stay back. I want to see Maisha.
I actually really like these scenes where you get all the effects. So, like, being able to see, of course, Urias, Ewan, Orisa, and Erica all on screen in lighting effects is actually really cool. The Conclusions actually has some of the best artwork and design choices that I've probably seen in most of Shadowverse so far. Also, I'm actually a huge fan of this map. Wow. Like, I know it's literally just a blue version of the red one that we had from the original, but I really like this color variation. Blue actually seems to fit this quite nicely. Although it might be oversaturated in the middle with some light, but either way, I actually quite enjoy this. Alright, so a little bit of damage going in first. What's coming out next to demonstrate power? Nah, I'm good. Ugh, nothing exciting. Can't really do a lot. No point really holding on to anything yet. Even though it might help me. If I probably could have had the chance to get a Florus. Not that I'm super worried. Perfect. None of this is optimal, but it'll do. It's doing a pretty decent job so far. Star Phoenix. Now that's one that I don't really want to have to deal with again. Alright, this is where things get more interesting. Because I don't really have another way to come back from this. Dying Resentment. A little annoying. Again though, not the end of the world, and now I don't really have many choices as far as playing cards go, so this is what it's going to be. Okay, if I take 2 damage over 2 turns, I can go for lethal. Perfect. So I'm going to favour my lethal option first, because turn 7 I can actually play both Dark General and, of course, Omen, which is going to be much better. So hopefully this will work out. I was a little worried to start with, but it looks like things are going to go just fine. Even if they heal just a little bit. Alright, Soul Conversion. Star Phoenix, not enough to take this out. Oh, actually no, just enough to take this out when they trade in. Which is fine. This actually worked out just perfectly. Very quick game though, a little disappointed that it was so fast. Would have liked to have at least a little more fun on this map. I can't think of anything else to call it. Background, I guess, but I don't usually think of backgrounds like that normally in my head, so meh, it's fine. 80 ruples. I feel good. Give me all the ruples. I wonder if it mattered who you picked for that part of the scene. I'm hoping it doesn't, but I wonder if I had to pick any of the other 3, if they would have actually attacked first, and that would have been more interesting.
Erica, let's go together.
Did you forget? You are the sun now, and I am the moon. Our paths can never cross.
No, that's not right. I know it's not. I mean, we're partners.
Partners? It seems that you enjoy using that word, but what you mean is unclear.
We're together, aren't we? We're hunting Nexus. Hunting the Keepers.
In the past, in the future, and even now we all have our own ways of life. It is only because of a coincidence that our goals are the same. But you still say we are... This is frivolous. Much too frivolous. At least it is for me.
He's just... Urias always captures my heart because he's so honest.
And our futures are different.
I know Arisa's honest, but she's got a very Navi way of being honest. Urias is very blunt. He's always straight to the point. Rarely would ever second guess his own opinion.
I'd be happy to be a forest guardian. But that that wasn't right. There's a lot of stuff that Guardians can't do. I would have given up without you all. If you weren't here, Nexus would have beaten me. No, I couldn't have even fought. All of this is thanks to you guys. I know that I don't mean anything to you, Urias. But I know that someday I will. I know it.
I see. Then do as you like.
I can't read what he's thinking. I'll stay on guard. You get to that hill.
All right. Thank you, Ewan.
I'm going. So don't lose.
Okay. Maisha, please tell me.
That's how you close out a chapter.
I believe in you. If you're lying,
I'm sure there's more, but we'll see. Nope, that was it. Okay. The next chapter will be available soon. Thank you for playing. So, it's actually not a bad spot to stop that story. I mean, there's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but nothing that is so major that it's like, oh my god, it has to happen now. So, I reckon if they follow the similar pattern of release for most of the chapters, then we're probably going to get the next one at the mini expansion, which will either be middle to end of next month, which is pretty normal. I'm actually pretty impressed they can put these out basically monthly. They always pretty much put out an update for the storyline monthly now, which is great. So it means we get like 12 parts overall, and that's always nice in a year. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. I had a lot of fun. The Guild War conclusion is really starting to heat up, and it's really cool to see that, of course, our predictions played out pretty nicely. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, see ya.